it is not a war that is happening and targeting at one spot of the earth. It's expanding with a speed that we don't know and on a level that we don't know, but definitely we could talk about it as something that would affect all of us. So I can make you a list of things that have happened within these past 18-19 days since the start of the bombardments on Iran. The first one was on the 7th and 8th of March, the explosion of 5 oil depots at 5 different spots around Tehran, in which million cubic meters of oil went exploded and fired, and it produced such a huge black smoke and smog. And also the next day the rain came as a black oily rain all over the city, over the roads, over the rooftops, on the trees, and cats, street cats, and also on the people. And the Red Crescent immediately issued in Iran a warning that people should stay home because it might be an acid rain containing not only carbon dioxide but also nitrogen oxide and also other heavy metals, which were also observed among the people by burning skin, burning throat. But these are only immediate reactions. When we just open this frame into a bigger scale of what is happening to the earth that we are living on, what is happening to the what we are experiencing, what a war that is known happening in the Persian Gulf is then suddenly a 20 kilometers long sleek of oil in Sri Lanka. This already means that it is not a war that is happening and targeting at one spot of the earth. It's expanding with a speed that we don't know and on a level that we don't know, but definitely we could talk about it as something that would affect all of us, all the humans and all the living beings. Okay, the dust wind or sand wind is something that always happened in the desert. For example, the khamsin in Egypt is a known version of the sand dust, or sand winds in Saudi Arabia, or in parts of Iran's deserts. They have been there since centuries. The point is that what does the wind carry? The main point that made it crucial and a point of debate back in 2015 in Iran was whether the dust wind that is coming at that time to the southwestern province of Khuzestan from Basra and Al-Amara in Iraqi side, whether they might contain war remains from those recurrent wars in Iraq that we knew had a high level of toxic ingredients, including burn pits and depleted uranium. And this has made a new field of thinking of how long is the life of these chemical ingredients, how many years after the war they can survive, and how far they can fly. In the case of Iran, dust winds, at least they can, these particulate matters, these airborne matters, are getting distances more than 150 kilometers. So it depends on the wind, but these fine dust, as the name is already implying that, can fly for very long distances. Ahvaz, for example, which is the main city of Khuzestan in Iran, had already been for years on the top records of having a very high level of heat, the hottest zone of the world, and also being the most polluted city. Adding to that, new chemicals that are not from the combustion of oil industry, but they are missiles and bombs. And also imagining that they settle, this explosion remains, settle on the earth, and with the next winds scratch because there is no water to hamper them and to make them sit down. This then means we are talking about a harm whose scale we cannot be accurate about the result and what will happen, but we can just say that I can just speculate that this is something really horrible happening at the moment. It's not about whether it is livable or not livable. So I would change your question from this binary of livability and unlivability into the hierarchies, the new hierarchies that would shape, given the expansion of war from the Caspian to the Gulf region. So those who had better chance to survive, of course, would survive. Those who have had access to mobility among the Iranians are already getting out of cities like Tehran that are main targets of the war, or trying to get distanced from the shores of the Persian Gulf. And whether people would find a way to survive, I think that's the art of life, and that's the focus of anthropology always, to find out how people, those precarious ones, those who are deprived from the welfares and even the ordinary life, would find a way to cope or to return or to make something that would make them continue or give them some meaning. This cannot always be resistance, but it is definitely talking about a different face in that region for all of us and for those who are living there, of how farmers, fishers, oil company workers would find a way to reconstruct tinges of life back over the ruins of this war, I think. There has been certain farming and planting programs that had made, for example, Khuzestan province into a frontier for such a matter. Those who had been working on planting new species that are not indigenous to the soil in that region, in order to make a sort of green wall to stop the expansion of the dust winds and to give new green lungs to the cities like Ahvaz, which was a program of the municipality, or making a green belt around the city. But it's also making new divisions. A green wall around a city means for urban life and not for the farmers, who are mostly known as Arab tribes, who have been traditionally doing palm trees. And palm trees, by their shape and form, are not considered the best option for standing against the dust wind, because standing against the dust wind, first of all, means having huge foliage, which is not the case for the palms. And also palms are very much salt sensitive, which means that if the water gets more and more salty, and also this dust wind carries crystals of salt from the dried beds of the marshlands and other wetlands to the farmlands, it makes them dry. So this sensitive and marginal species gets more and more marginalized, more and more precarious, and new ones come into the center of the scene, while at this also very ends of parts of the world, still people would try to find a way for themselves to survive.